Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com with another, teach myself a language in like 20 minutes type video where basically I spend like 20, 30 minutes, introduce myself to a language I haven't learned before, haven't worked with before, and try to make sense of it. That's sort of the idea here. The idea isn't for me to master this in like 20, 25 minutes, but the idea is to like do some basic things, print hello world, create a function, maybe do some conditionals, stuff like that. So today we're going to do Julia. Julia. Okay, so we'll call this Julia practice. Okay. Cool. So here we go. Do we have any examples to work with? We do. Nice. That's not very helpful. Okay. So let's Google hello. I actually just wrote Google in the Google. Hello world Julia. Yes, Julia by example. I always like by example. Okay. The simplest possible script. Hello world. So let's do that first. Print line hello world. Do I need a semicolon? No, no semicolons. Let's run that. Hello world. So that works. Okay, good. So I can print hello world. Okay, so let's take a look at how a function is written. Okay, this looks very Ruby-esque. Okay, I just do function, name of the function, arguments, expressions, return. Got it. Okay, that's not bad at all. Okay, so let's go back to the REPL. Okay, so let's create a function. Function, add 1x, return x plus 1. Then let's do an end, and then let's print line, add 1, 5. So it should print 6. Let's see if that works. Error, doing bootstrap load error. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. That doesn't really give me a good. Not allowed to add one space before. Okay, so it really wants me to not. I think that's what I wanted there. Okay, so that worked. Okay, so that's, you can't put a space after the function name. You gotta put the parameters right afterwards. It's sensitive to that. Okay, cool. So that worked. We made a function. We used it. That's cool. That's pretty easy. String. Okay. Okay. You don't have to put any kind of initializing terms in front of a variable. Okay. Front line. That's all pretty straightforward. Do we see anything like interpolation? Okay. Print. Okay, nothing really particularly useful. How about conditionals? Actually, okay, we have stuff. Okay, arrays look the same. Dictionaries. Okay, nothing too different. Okay, so far nothing too different. Here we go. Loops. For I in 15. So it's a weird cross between something like Ruby and Python in a lot of places. It's not too bad. So let's loop over an array. Let's say x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry for all the sirens in the background. I do live in Brooklyn, and particularly in a noisy neighborhood that's on the way to a hospital, and there's always a lot of car accidents because it's a busy street. You know. FML. Okay, so here we go. What do I want to do? We want to do like 4. Now, what was the syntax on that? For I in 1 through 5. Let's do it for I in x. Let's print line x. Actually, let's do this. Let's print line, add 1x. and then that and then we end the for loop. So I should get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, but did it not like method error? All these errors are verbose. Okay, so let's see here. Syntax, space before, where did I put a space? For parentheses, where did I put a space before parentheses? Well, we took care of that. So for 5. For I and X, so let's see here. Do we see an example with an array? For I and A1, print I, and okay. That's kind of what we did, didn't we? So let's see here. For I in X, let's try print. Just try the normal print, no print line. Does that make a difference? Load error, main method error plus. Oh, I see why this should be I. There we go. I'm seeing here, I'm passing the array into the addition function. That's what that's saying. I get it. So basically saying like the actual operator, the add is actually a function. That's technically what's the truth in most languages. It's a function that takes 2 arguments, which is the thing on the left and the thing on the right. Which if I had X in there, the thing on the right is this. Point is I was passing in the array, not the individual number, so this should work now. Or at least I shouldn't be getting that error anymore. Didn't really print anything. So let's do this. Print line, because I noticed in the code they put a random print line right after the loop, so see if that does anything. It seems to be doing it, but we're not seeing it. So what I'm going to do here. Oh, there it is. Clear. Okay, so it clears that thing. But let's do this. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got that working. We can loop. Conditionals if false. Okay, I mean this is all actually much more straightforward than I thought it was going to be for Julia. See if I see anything that's more interesting. Put output, packages including files, plotting. Plotting in Julia is only possible with additional packages. Okay, so they use that's for a plot on a chart. Because again, Julia is mainly used for like scientific analysis and stuff. But yeah, otherwise, not all that different than what you would be used to. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that. So that's Julia language. Again, nothing. I don't see anything here that's too out of the ordinary for any kind of standard programming language. Do they have classes? I wouldn't think so. But let's see here. I'm assuming this would be under types. Structuring data, so mutable struct. Okay, you have structs. They do have structs, so it's more like Go. And the difference between a struct and a class is that a struct is more like a bundle of properties, while a class tends to be a bundle of properties and methods. So it's functions and data. Okay, and like the language Go and Rust, you don't really have classes like you do in, let's say, C++ and Java. You just have, well, in Go specifically, you have structs, and then what you can do is you can create functions that can be received or invoked by a struct. It's kind of a weird way of doing it, but I like it. But let's see how they do this. Okay, so we create a mutable struct. So again, mutable means that you can change the values. It's a struct called person. So that's a property called name. That's an abstract string, whatever that means. Male, boolean. Got it. Those are the properties and the types of properties. So here we're creating a new person. Okay. Print sum. Okay. So I'm assuming that just is going to print the entire person. Let's see here. Family. I'm trying to see if there's any way where they show anything about defining a method. Here we go, constructor that takes one argument and generates a default. 2 arguments. Okay, so those are constructors. Got it. But I don't see anything about passing in methods. Okay, well that's... So it's going to be more like Go in that regard. So that's interesting. But otherwise, just not much else to talk about. Again, dictionaries are going to be more like your dictionaries in Python, or hashes in Ruby, or objects in JavaScript. You guys get the idea. But cool. So that was Julia. Let's move on to the next one in the next video. I'll see you guys there.